Hi. Okay, in this video we're going to be installing IBM Rapid Infrastructure Automation version 1.1.5, and we'll be doing this using a connected Kubernetes installation. I'll be installing on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.4, and let's go through it then. So just to quickly go through our hardware requirements, this system needs to have 2 virtual CPUs per node. Mine has 4, so that's okay. Memory needs to be 32 gigs of RAM at the moment, and we need 120 gigs of disk space with a network speed of 1 gigabit per second. So this system meets all those requirements, but just keep in mind it's going to have installation issues if you have low memory per node, and it might not install at all if you don't have enough disk space. And I expect a really bad performance if there's below the required CPUs or network interface speed. Next is our software requirements. First thing we want to do is check that we have curl, wget, jq, and unzip installed. So this is a connected, system. So I can just curl, wget, jq, and unzip from DNF and checks, and are already installed. So we're okay for that. We already know we have an outbound internet connection. That's fine. We'll need this because we're pulling containers or images from a repository. Next up is our entitlement key. This is a long string of characters that's used to kind of authenticate what you're able to download. Think of it, your license. So I already have my entitlement key, but you can go to your container registry, sign in with your IBM ID and password. If there's a key, use that. If there isn't, you can add a new key. It'll generate a key with your licensing on that, and that'll work. You can also, if you want, just check that you have the right key by verify using this command here, which I'll use Podman for the same thing, but this command here, and I get login succeeded. All right, let me just clear that off. Okay. We're not doing air-gapped install, so no Docker engine. Now here's another thing. So I'm installing as root, and that's going to work just fine. However, if you don't have a root account or don't want to use a root account, you'll need to create a user that has the sudo permissions. So in Red Hat, this case, it's user add with the group wheel RNA. And I could sign in as that user now, but running as root is fine, so I'm just not going to bother with that. Okay, so this section now for OpenShift container platform doesn't matter. We're doing this on Kubernetes, not doing this on OpenShift. Instead, we'll be doing this on a Kubernetes cluster. So we need to use this particular version for K3s, and we're going to be installing Helm as well, which will help us manage the charts. So to install Kubernetes, it's actually really, really easy. You can just run this command. Because this is a connected system, it's just going to go to this website, set the version, grab it and disable traffic and install. So we'll just let it do its thing. Cool, and we have K3s, so systemctl status K3 service, and there it is. Next we need to install the Helm charts. Just type that up, which again is pretty easy. You're just grabbing the Helm SH setting it to executable. Sorry, setting ownership, not executable. And then running get helm. And that's it. They recommend setting the Kubernetes configuration file, so we're just going to quickly do that with this command here, and then also source the bash RC. So that way we are running against the correct YAML file for Kubernetes. Okay, OpenJDK is for 1.1.4 only, so we can skip all this and then move on to the installing section. Okay, so we're installing in version 1.1.5. And this is a connected system, so as we install it on K3s clusters. It's connected, not air-gapped. Okay, so we've done our planning section. We've made sure that we have done that. We've installed this. We've got our container registry, and we've installed curl. You can actually see most of the instructions are here. And they say to verify the kubectl is installed by running this command. All right, well, let's do that then. There you go. They want us to install Helm 3x, which we've done already. Because it's K3s, the default storage class up there. If this is different, you'll need to do this differently, but this is fine for now. If your installation is Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8, disable the firewall D tool. Well, we don't have to do that because I think this is Red Hat 9, but we can come back to that if there's a problem. And again, specify the configuration file, which we've already done. So we've already done this. This is kind of just a repeat of the planning. Now, on our installation host, we want to download the package. So the package is only a few kilobytes, and that's this here. So we can just quickly wget this. Boop. And just to show you it there, you can see it's only like 111 kilobytes. We're going to extract that now in the next command. And then we're going to use the Helm system to add the repo. Nice, that works. Now, one of the quirks of this thing still, with this particular version, 1.1.4 and 1.1.5, is that you still have to update the FOSS image registry if you do not use certificates. So if you use the certificates, you can actually skip section 4. But what happens is that the remote hosts don't trust their own image repository. So you kind of have to tell them that, hey, it's okay. So they say to do this, we just go to our Etsy Rancher K3s folder. So we'll do that now. Is there a registries file? There is not a registries file. If there is one, create it. I'm going to actually go straight into editing it. Add this YAML configuration. Boop. And I'll need to add the IP address. So let me go get the IP address for this thing. It's in the 9 range. It's this one here. Just a moment. Boop. Okay, and then restart K3s. Again, if you're using certificates, you don't need to do this. It's just because it does not, the system does not trust insecure domains, which this one is. What I've done here is I've added the IP address of the server. So when a remote worker is deployed, when it looks back to the server for images, it knows that, hey, this IP is okay. You can set it to a host domain, whatever works. Okay. Next, I need to put my entitlement key into a variable called IBM regpass, which I will do now. Let me just clear this, place this, grab my variable, export there. Cool. And again, clear that. So that's done. Next, I'll just move to a particular folder where these things are. Now, why does that not work? Oh yeah, because I'm in the K3s directory. Let me move back to my home directory and then move into the appropriate directory, which is, in this case, this root, or whatever your user is. This. It's where I extracted the files earlier. Cool. Install the application on the cluster and accept the license by running this command. So, once again, and I'm going to be putting in the instance address. So it's RIA video in this case. And then a bunch of stuff happens. Now, if I get an error exited 1, always remember to check that you've ran these two commands here for export the kubeconfig and source basrc. If you haven't done that, you'll run into problems. So now what it's done here is it's going to start downloading the images for the pods. And in fact, let me show you what this looks like. I'll just open another window here. Video 1.5.com. Oh, it's taking its time. Oh, it's because it's I didn't add root. Hang on, it's my bad. Wrong user. So I'm just gonna show you now. If I can check the status of kubectl -n RNA core. That's our namespace, and then just get pods. Let me zoom out a little bit there so it looks a bit more tidy. There we go. So you can see here, containers are creating, and you know, some of them are running, some are initializing. And what it's trying to do is that it needs to get up all the components required to get the API pod going. So once the API pod has gotten up and running, it'll install the integrations, and then once that's done, the install is pretty much done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the recording and we'll come back to this. Alright, so now that the API pods have finished successfully, it's now moving on to the integrations job. Worth noting that when this thing is installing, you're going to see lots of error, crash loop, back off, and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. It's usually just saying that, hi, I'm still trying to download stuff, or hi, I can't start because some other pod hasn't started yet. It's okay, just give it a little time. So just to note as well, what it's looking for at this stage is 2 API pods being running. And what it's doing at this stage here is it's installing the integration. So if I list my pods again, it's this job here. So watch this. So it's doing this, installing integrations, and it's going to just take a little bit of time to do. So just leave it for a little bit. These are alphabetical, so nearing the end. So now this this job has been completed. So now it's just going to restart the workers. All right. So you can see here now, congratulations, you've installed your instance. You can now take full advantage of your instance. So I'm going to open a new browser window here. I'll just use Edge or Firefox, whatever you prefer. And go to our URL. And again, I haven't installed certs, so sorry, you'll need to do this. But other than that, IBM Rapid Infrastructure Automation. I'm going to put this aside slightly. And you need to get our login password. So it generates a login password for us at the start, and we can just get that using this command here. So I'll just paste it, copy that in there, open my browser, paste. And you can see here it's giving me this. So there you go. Just give it a second. It's always a little slow on the first login. And like that, we're into Rapid Infrastructure Automation. That's the installation complete. All right, thank you.